I've attended a lot of conferences on tech, creativity, and entrepreneurship so that you don't have to. I mean, there's plenty of great reasons to attend anyway, but I like to go and give you the Cliff Notes. And most recently, I attended the very first Tech Innovation and Wealth Summit hosted by the Come Up series here in Seattle, Washington. And I wanted to share some of my favorite takeaways specifically for first-time or aspiring founders. First of all, whether or not you're thinking of starting a tech-based business or working in the tech industry, if you're curious about the tech landscape and what it has to offer at all, I highly recommend attending conferences like this one. You could just be a curious citizen that wants to learn more about AI and what all that means, or you could be curious about investing in tech and understanding how to make those sorts of decisions. But either way, I recommend conferences like this because they are an informal, low-pressure environment for you to get an entree into this world. Now, let's talk about some of my favorite takeaways. Number one, if you are an early stage or aspiring founder, you need to understand whether you are interested in founding a lifestyle business or a venture scale business. Not every type of business and business model is meant to scale fast, serve a large audience, or be venture backed. So whether you're starting a product-based business, a service-based business, a retail business, a tech business, you need to go into it with an understanding of what your goal is as a business owner. Are you interested in starting a business that will generate enough revenue to sustain itself, support your lifestyle, and scale to a specific level without requiring fast growth or an expansive team or a huge operational task? And I actually thought this was a really important point, even though it's simple, because a lot of people have a misconception that the way to measure success in a business is to look at its growth. How fast, how big, how large is the team, how big is the operational capacity? And that may not necessarily be everybody's goal or the right fit for every kind of founder. So takeaway number one, determine whether your business is a lifestyle business or a venture scale business. Now let's assume that you are creating a venture scale business and you're building a business with a model that requires rapid growth and maybe a substantial amount of funding to really get it off the ground within its first few years. I asked a question in one of the entrepreneurship sessions about what investors or venture capital firms are looking for in a founder when they're making decisions about whether or not this endeavor is something they want to contribute to, especially if the founder is new to the category, maybe new to the landscape as a whole, and doesn't necessarily have a track record of founding successful, scalable businesses in the past that they can leverage to build trust with investors. I asked what were some of the qualities that you would look for in a founder like that, and here's what the panelists said. Number one, founder market fit. Does your experience align with the market that the business you are creating is in? Do you have some level of specialty or expertise or deep understanding of the customer base in that market that gives you insight that you need to be able to lead this idea? Number two, they want to know that you are the kind of leader that could lead this company today, but also 3, 5, 10 years from now. So they're looking for long-term leadership potential, which means that they're looking for commitment and they're looking for somebody who has the ability to grow and evolve with the business. This also means it's important to have qualities like perseverance and resilience and real dedication to the process of building a company, which is not a game and not for everybody. Another thing that they're looking for is your leadership ability when it comes to managing a team. They want to know that you have the discernment and the ability to attract and hire a great management team for the company and also to lead that team. So if you're an early stage or aspiring founder and you don't have people management experience, do a little research in that and get an understanding of what kind of leader you would be for a team. Another panelist added that they're looking for a cogent thinker. They're looking for somebody who can be rational and use data to justify their decisions. They're looking for somebody who is not relying solely on passion or their dedication to a problem that they want to solve to make decisions and lead their business. So they want to know that you're capable of thinking tactically and strategically about your roadmap to success and that you have some exact calculations for how you expect to get there. And lastly, on that specific question, they're looking for somebody who is time conscious, who understands that the value of time is often higher than the value of money. If you get a lot of capital to build a business and 6, 9, 12 months go by and you haven't converted that capital into something progressive for the company that you're creating, that indicates to your investors that you may not be qualified to lead that idea because time is money. It's cliche, but that's really how people think. The thing to understand about being venture backed is that people are not just investing in you because they care about you and they like what you're doing. They're investing in you because they expect to get a return on their investment. At the very least, they're hoping to get their initial investment back. So if you're not thoughtful and proactive about the way that you spend not just your money, but your time, you've got people impatiently waiting for a return on their investment. And people will run out of patience if you look like you don't care. Couple more takeaways. Make sure that the solution that your business is offering doesn't already exist before you start creating. Like, it might be a sexy fantasy to think of yourself as the creator of that next big explosive app. You and your founding team retire with multi-millions and you ride off into the sunset. But one of the panelists strongly suggested that you ask yourself, do you need a new app? Do you need to create a new solution with new technology to solve the problem that you're trying to solve? Or do you need a tool? And are there existing tools that you can assemble to do your work more effectively and efficiently? So in my own terms, don't be out here reinventing the wheel just because you like the sensation of being considered an inventor. And the last takeaway I'll share is that if you are a founder, you should have or be looking for a mentor and a sponsor. Your mentor is going to be a coaching type relationship where you work with somebody that maybe you relate to in some aspect, but they're further ahead in their career or in their professional experience than you, and they have something to impart to you about how to reach your goals. They're going to keep you accountable. They're going to be in communication with you, answering questions that you may have, and helping you access the parts of yourself that you need to in order to step into your role of leadership for the idea. A sponsor is going to be somebody who is well connected, who has the financial resources and the network to connect you with opportunities that advance you towards your goals. The panelists emphasized that when you're looking for a sponsor, be willing to think outside the box and cultivate a relationship with somebody who may not be very similar to you. Those kinds of relationships open doors and grant access to the kinds of rooms, conversations, and opportunities that you wouldn't otherwise be able to reach within your own network and your own realm of experience. Now, I'm thinking about creating a video to give y'all some tips on networking so that you can start to create those relationships that lead to mentorship and sponsorship. Let me know if that's something you're interested in. But those are my takeaways from the Tech Innovation and Wealth Summit. I will definitely be back next year. If you're a creative professional, a founder, or a leader on the rise, make sure that you subscribe and that you follow me for more content like this. Mwah!